Hello, happy beginning of the weekend, or whenever, depending on when you're viewing this. Welcome back to the artist always known as Alejandro. And we're continuing this series on my galaxy guards, as I called them back in the day. These are a team of super beings that have powers connected to planets, moons, suns, the stars, oceans, that sort of thing. So we saw the Sun Guard last week, Solarin, and the week before was Merluna, the Moon Guard. And now we're going to do the Planet Guard, as she was dubbed. But I gave her a name called Palfira, as you can see in this heading. But, let's be honest here. So, originally, Palfira the Planet Guard was just a Planet Guard. She had no name, and I drew her up as a teenager in the 80s. So this is what she looked like. Total Raven. I had no idea until I got older that, oh my goodness, I am completely ripping off Raven. So when I was deciding to do this fight to save the universe, I'm keeping the character. So I think it's cool, someone who can have a connection to the planets. I mean, originally her powers were just like controlling fire, ice, and snow, radiation from her hands, or some crud like that. Yeah, standard ops, whatever. But then as I delve deeper into making this, like, well, why should I keep this character? What does she have to offer? Why is she so special? Just another person in a costume that can fire energy bolts from their hands? So I thought, well, let's delve deeper into the story and make her someone who can communicate with the planets, even connect with planets from other solar systems. Maybe coming in very handy with the story. And yeah, she could do her standard things with shooting energy bolts from her hands, but she can also connect with the planets and have the planet work with her, fight back against enemies. Trees can work for her, the ground, sand, even some lakes, rivers, maybe even the sky on the planet, yeah. So, this was scrapped. We can't do that. Then I started making her more alien. So, like, all the characters were mostly human looking. So, I'm like, well, let's make her more alien. So, I just kind of played around with this idea that she would have this kind of look. It's kind of like head thing, these big eyes, and these little diamond shapes going in the middle of her head. Originally, I had a little swirly thing going on, but that went to Merluna, so we can't copy that twice. All right, in full disclosure, I started doing this sketch and made 2 videos about it in the rough cuts. And I'm like, this is the pose I wanted because, maybe it looks like she's more heavenly in a way, I don't know, communicating with the planets. But, well, the facial expression was like, that looks so plain and blank, like, okay. And then the body, what is this? Not feeling it. So I did a few other tweaks, tried different things. I did land on this. And I like the more alien look in her face. But this extended arm thing, I don't know. For me, sometimes I think that's just been played to death. The whole holding up the arms and using your powers to raise stuff, especially people who kind of are a little mystical. So yeah, I made recordings of this stuff and now we've scrapped it. So I'm just being honest. I have gone back to the drawing board to bring you this. And of course, I went to the sketch pad and hit it with pencil and came up with this. I'll make it a little clearer for you. So this is what I was playing around with. A little more dynamic pose. If I've been practicing these poses, I might as well put this practice to use. Instead of just having her stand there like, it's kind of meh. This pencil sketch is okay. I think I want to play around with the face a little more. I don't even know if I have the dimensions right, but I like this more. It's a more dynamic pose, and I can work with this. So I'm going to fade it out a little bit more. Head to our lovely vector layer for pen. And now, I've changed a few things over here too. I'm making the brush size of 4, maybe a little smaller. It gives me a little more control. Makes it feel more like I'm working with a pen. And I've made the anti-aliasing the strongest level. And I've changed this. The stabilization mode used to be on this one here. Increase stabilization when drawing slowly. But I changed it to reduce stabilization when drawing quickly. And I find that I have a little more control over the pen here. So let's delve right in. Get working on her. You're probably a little disappointed. Yeah, man, I didn't get to do the pencil sketch with you, dude. Well, just think of it as a treat that we're going right into her face. I'm going to zoom into it. I think proportionately it's okay. See, look at this. I can move it like this and it's not as choppy. I'm still going to try and keep it a little, keeping the lines together as much as possible. Stop it there. But it's okay if I do a little bit of this because I could clean it up. The pen does move a lot more smoothly. I'm loving it. So we save. So yeah, I was saying Palfira has these powers to communicate with planets. I'll do this sideways. It's a pretty cool power. And Luna can communicate with the moons. Sun Guard can communicate with the suns. And so, like, yeah, her. Palfira. Okay. I'm keeping the P for Planet Guard. But it's a cool name. Palfira. Sounds alien. Try this way across. So this little idea came up. Some of you might think it seems a little reminiscent of the Vision. Maybe I'm a little influenced by the synthetic human, artificial man, but she's my creation. She's my creation. Sharpen this up. Yeah, originally I was originally going for something like this. In the middle of her head, like, wait, I already did that design on Marluna, so let's not go there. So these 2 diamond shapes. I could do, well, let me just, okay. And then the next one will be here. Could always change the size. The eyes. I wasn't really giving her eyebrows. Giving her these big eyes, though. I don't want her to be super. I have a super serious expression on her right now. You see, it just moves so much better this way. If I go slow, it does such a good job. And we're going to come down again. In case you have to move stuff around. I don't know. She's going to have big eyes. I know, I was seeing something where this guy, an artist, does something like this. like for photo references, this way he could have, if you're like trying to copy a face perfectly, you could do these things to get the brow, the nose, and the bottom where it winds up, and you have a perfect way of lining things up all the time. Okay, I haven't yet to try that one, but I'm making her nose like one thing. Should I make it one piece? I kind of like it. And I don't want to make her be a complete stick in the mud, so. A little bit of a smile. Just playing around with the lips. A little bit more. Yeah, give it a little more of a curve there. I'm gonna erase this. Like too much. Let me just see something here. That might work better. Seems like a lot here. Let me see. No, it's more like this thing. Kind of almost like with the skull. It comes up like that. No, not too much. I think that's it. In a way, this is kind of a rough sketch too. Yeah, the pencil drawing I just kind of did. When in doubt, pencil to paper is always a reliable connection. One day I'll show you all what I do in the pencil world. Alright, this is doing the hand right near the screen, coming up to your face, the viewer. And originally I was just going to give her 3 fingers. I don't want to do that. Besides, we kind of saw that already with Sinra. But it can be very tricky, the perspective, when you have this foreshortening going on. That's what this is. You have something coming straight towards the camera, like a hand. It seems like, I want to say it's not easy. Nothing's easy. It presents its challenge, but you just have to kind of be aware. Her thumb is really bothering me. I think her thumb, we've seen the hand could probably be a little bigger. And if anything, I could fine tune the hand. But then you have this perspective where you kind of have to, I mean, unless you have a model or photo reference, you kind of have to imagine, okay, so if this is right in here, the shoulder's going to be here, then the bicep area, the middle part of the arm is coming towards the camera in a way like this, because it's going to be the biggest part of the hand will be the hand itself, and the arm gets smaller, but wouldn't keep the shape. You know, you won't have a straightforward arm. There's going to be this curve if you ever look at something like that from that perspective. So I've seen it in other comic books, and then I study images where I see a character and like, okay, what is their arm doing in the back there? In this case, I think I'm going to have her arm kind of like doing that. I think my initial idea was that it was coming off to the side a little bit. Something like that. Looks kind of bizarre. You know, it's a strange shape. It doesn't look right. Let me try that again. One more time. One more time. And now I gave her these puffy wizard sleevey type things going on. I am kind of being a little reminiscent of the OG look where she has the sleeves. I don't know, I feel like I had to keep that. It just seems more earthly, planetary for a kind of character like this. And what I'll do is I'm just going to add the shapes. It's very kind. See, the pen is very kind. It moves so smoothly in this mode. So change it to this mode. It will be a dream come true. I think this would come out more. I'm watching a little bit more videos, especially of Mr. Finch, Mr. David Finch. He watched some other videos on doing hips and torsos. I have to look at the torso one yet. I haven't done that yet. I'm sure that would be helping me in this situation right now. But I've been seeing that when he does some of his drawings, he does this kind of division here with this area. So that's been helping a lot. But actually what I've seen in the video, what he's shown for the hips, there's this upside down bowl thing he does. That kind of, if your hips are right here, it goes this way. And then right below it is where the crotch is. And then from here you can build out your hip area. I mean, if you want to really do the joints, you know, your hip bones will come out here. And then he builds up from there. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. And I was kind of doing that. You might be able to see some of it in my little pencil sketch there. Now, proportionally, let me just move back a little bit. A bit, actually. And with her, I do picture the wizard sleeve thing going on, but I don't want her to have a gown. I don't know. For her, it doesn't seem like it fits. I have so many, you know, mystical women in gowns, and it just, I don't think she could have her little leather pants or whatever they're going to be. Which is what I'm going to do here. So, yeah, these are going to be pants. And we'll have a little bit of the leg coming like that. So yeah, I'm just doing this. I'm not going to do a full figure on her either. I don't want to. Yeah, I made the hand. Yeah, let me do this. Move it down a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Got a little proportionately weird. Okay, I'll hit okay, don't worry. And save. Just kind of follow this. It won't be that thick. Hey, well, let's see. I can always change it, you say, right? But I don't want to change arms too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't want to change arms too much. Because it's a real pain to readjust that later on. Maybe this little bit and just a slight bend, that's okay. But width can be a problem because it's attached to the hand. Let me see. So this would be this. Her knuckles. She's going to have her thumb. You can break it into parts too if you want. Then maybe her middle finger goes like that. You can draw through it if you want. Maybe let's see a little bit of the third finger. The tiny finger could just be behind that. Actually, kind of like it. A little bit of a bend there. Tiny finger would be, but the little finger would be behind it, but you may not see it, so I won't really concentrate on that. You can kind of get away with not showing the little, come on, little finger too much. Just see how she looks proportionally. Actually looks pretty good. Let me just do one thing here. It actually looks pretty good. Sometimes when this disappears, it's like, what did I do, man? Looks pretty good. Well, it could go like this. Maybe I don't want it to be just kind of a nice, easy length. Like wizard sleeve. Sleeve of wizard. And I do give her these little bracelets that have a... There's going to be... Let me see how I did this. I have a symbol. I do have something going across the chest area. I like those. It seems like a Planet Guard thing that they gotta have something up there. Even though Merluna didn't. Let's zoom in. And I have this kind of symbol going on here, which I like to translate into her bracelets. So it'll be going this way. But it'd be more like from this angle. That's what it's going to look like. Then I gave her some kind of a belt. I can get rid of this middle area. I know where it is. Let me get rid of this. All right, sure. Let's move in a little bit more. And so her belt. Make sure you put it in pen again. I was going to do belt really having this kind of look, kind of going with this symbol in a way. How did I have it here? Let's look. The whole thing, huh? Made it really thick. I don't know. Have something like this coming across. Of course, this is distracting me because it looks like it's a belt. All right. A belt looked like a skirt before, right? Let's get rid of that because it is a little distracting. Just tighten up some things right now. Just because they're a little distracting to things coming together. Let's see. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. You have to adjust your hand, but I think we got an overall good look going on here. Just the basic idea of what we want for Palfira, our Planet Guard, so far. And we're going to tighten things up. So within a few seconds, this may look a little more fine-tuned, right? So you do that. Erase your lines now, and we'll proceed. And you can see I've changed a little bit. Well, I've tweaked lines, got rid of some unnecessary lines sticking out, kind of changed the curves a little bit. Brought her arm from up here to down here. Just feels a little more natural, and it's fitting into my screen. So don't want it to do that. Go over into the unknown regions here. We want her all filling up the screen, even if we're doing a half body shot. And what I'm wanting to do now, since I used my pen at 4, I want to thicken these lines a little bit more. So we have this thicken tool under correct line, which is this symbol here. And yes, you can adjust it to make it thicker or narrow. But it's narrow enough, so I want to add a little more thickness. See what's happening here? Yeah, making the lines pop a little more. Thin is alright, but I want her to really stand out here. Some parts don't need to be that thicker or darker, but overall I want her to look a little more, see the lines. And that's the beauty of this. You could do this, you could start with the small lines, which I've been doing differently. The small lines, I feel I can control them a little better when I'm drawing, but now once I'm done, I don't think I'm doing any more edits on Palfira in this way, so let's keep her nice. Make her nice. Yeah, beautiful. There you go. Sleep should be a little more pronounced. She looks like she's been inked in a little more, huh? What do you say? Cool. Save. Now we're going to move on to the details. Keep it at 4. Keep my details on the other lines. With her face, I don't know if I want to do anything to taint it. It looks so nice the way it is. If anything, I'll just ooh la la. Do her neck muscles. I'll do her little shoulder blade things. It's kind of funny if I'm doing them in that direction. Makes it a little easier for me to have the screen slanted the direction I'm going down towards instead of going up. That one might work. This thing going on their arm going into the shape. Like I said, I've seen artists do this thing. They want to make, they go with the direction of the arm. You could go across too, but I'm not, I think this works. Stick with it. Give her bosom lines. She may be an alien, but she still has a bosom. I might do something going on, like stretch of her costume. I'd like to see that. And let's go to the ribs. So we might make this a little more shaded too, in the same vein as this. Maybe even some here. Unless it's not necessary. Let's go into our little rib cage accentuation here. Draw middle lines. You could start right here. Then add a little bit going down into there. The abs leading into the lower regions. Go up here and do a little bit of our sleeve. I even have a little bit of an accent here. Well, let me see. Just continue that. Then have a little wrinkle here. Not the wrinkle I'm looking for. Spin a page. Something like that. I could draw her little shoulder muscle there. Here, this would be like the bend in the thumb. Maybe even something going on here, but you know, less is more. A little something on her little bracelet thing there. And then we'll do some on the inside of her thigh. Let's see what it looks like. Do some erasing here. Oh, that's on the other layer, huh? Let's see. Yeah, it's just like her head's got nothing. Kind of feel the need to just do this. Kind of just on the edge here. Just a little something to give her face. Well, I'll stop there. You know, the eyelashes, I could do a little bit more. It would seem kind of funny if you just had just this thing on the end. I mean, it seems very alien. Shouldn't it have a little something more? I do kind of like it. It seems very simple. She wouldn't have lashes. Does she blink her eyes? Who cares? Is that really important to the character if she blinks her eyes? She might. If I may, I think I will go to another layer and do something with the sleeves. I could blacken them in, but let's see. Ugh. And then we'll kind of just picture some kind of cross hatching thing going on here. Well, let's see what the E does here. Makes a difference. Let's see. Actually, it looks okay. I'm pleased with it. Let's do a little bit to this one now. Sometimes you gotta go wider to hopefully achieve what you're looking for here. Because the weird part with this is it's just the inside of the sleeve. You're not really getting the big picture, but you know there's part of it here because you see it there. So hopefully we put two and two together. It may look sloppy from afar, but you know what? Closer it looks pretty good. Actually, I'm going to go to the pen and add just a more dark here. And then dark here. It's a little better. That. And I'm satisfied. Like I said, sometimes less is more. You don't really need to put a lot of lines. to say what you want. I've got a pretty simple design. She's a very sleek alien, very nature-oriented, because she's the Planet Guard. Palfira. So here you go, Palfira is done. Our Planet Guard. Very nice touch by this alien woman. Well, thanks for joining me on this drawing. So, as always, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week for more. We'll do another one of her teammates. There's only 2 more left, and they're both dudes, so get ready for those. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining me, and hope you had fun creating Palfira as much as I did here on the artist always known as Alejandro. Until next time, keep creating.